I'm gonna give you a cheat code. If you an investor, you hit this, you ask and say, hey, let me buy some Alibaba. Let me buy some KWEB, which is the Chinese ETF. If you smart, you say, hey, let me AAA. Big news alert, man, that we need to hear, man. So it came out that China and America are willing to talk. Not only are they willing to talk, it came out that China said that they are willing to do some of the work goals because people from America, some advocates for America have reached out. Now listen, I don't want to get into who folded, who didn't fold. I am an American citizen and I believe in the stock market, y'all. Like, and I want to see the stock market run. So when I hear stuff like that, I knew the market was going to run up. So we made some dope plays in my community this week that went crazy. The Spotify play that we pulled, the Meta play, right? Yeah, they went crazy. The NVIDIA play, they went crazy. But that ain't what we're going to talk about today. Listen, two of the world's biggest nations have been at it, and everybody else have been doing what? Sitting by, getting punished because of it. Well, they are on the phone. They say, listen, we willing to talk. So I won't break down in this video, what's at stake. Because if this goes right, man, this could impact the markets for the next 6 months to 12 months. And I'm talking about we can see a massive explosion, right? And I want you to be in position. And that's what we're gonna do with this video, man. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to this video. And if you believe that information is money, this is the video for you, man. So let us know in the chat how you like this video. But most importantly, before we move forward, listen, family. That is not me telling you to buy Bitcoin or get none of that, and I don't have nothing against it. It's not me telling you to meet me at WhatsApp, and it's not me telling you to meet me at Telegram. That ain't me. Don't fall for it. They saying, hey, I'm thankful for this person, and they naming their name Jackie or whatever. None of them people ain't me, man. Report them pages, man. Don't get scammed by that. Let's get to it, man. So with this phone call being made, they're willing, and then China saying they're gonna send one of their officials over, whether it's gonna be in America or whether it's gonna be in some other country and we meet them, but they say they're willing to talk. And one of the things they talked about was the fentanyl situation, which was crazy. They're saying like America saying, yo, we'll produce it over here. Something like that. Trump is really standing tall on the fentanyl situation. Listen, I'll throw my hands up. I don't got nothing to do with that, you hear me? I don't sell no drugs. I don't know nothing about no drugs, you hear me? Listen, we know some dope dealing going on, you hear me? And that's gonna be some of the talks. And I know China, President Xi is gonna say, hey, listen, y'all gonna have to take off some of the stuff. This 245%, that don't even make no sense what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? And America gonna say, hey, y'all gotta, renegotiate what y'all got going on. So we really hope that they can be able to sit down and do some things because both economies suffer. Right now, we haven't suffered as we could with that. So we want to see that go through. But let's talk about some things that can really help us going forward. So one, we're going to talk about global supply chains. Now, we know that China is the world's largest manufacturer. Their economy is set up like that. Now, here's the thing about manufacturing. Yes, you can manufacture to other countries across the world because the United States only make up 15% of the world. But think about it like this. No one spends money like Americans do, right? This economy is the biggest when it comes to spending that bread. You feel me? So when you take your biggest consumer away, yeah, you're going to still make some money, but boy, you're going to be like, yo, it's a drought. On the other hand, if you think about America, for every 10 things in your house, at least 5 of them made from China. At least 6 of them made from China. So they go hand in hand, y'all. So supply chains, we want to see that, but also semiconductors. Now listen, we all saw where Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, said something on TV the other day. He said, hey, China is not behind when it comes to tech. Duh, we knew that. But he was sending a message to President Trump like, hey, like, we got to do some things, man. Like, I get it. And then he got on a podium, they were having a talk, and he said, listen, NVIDIA is going to move forward. We're doing some things. We couldn't do it without President Trump. Like, he stroked Trump's ego, which do what you gotta do for your company, dog. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do for your company, dog. I actually own the stock, you dig? And what we saw Friday the stock after the conversation, after that, and we heard that conversation was China was willing to talk, we saw NVIDIA go from what? 110, 114. We're not mad at that, right? The next thing we wanna see is tariffs, trade, and inflation. So we know that we need to see a conversation happen that, hey, we're gonna lower these tariffs because as of right now, no deals have been made. We waiting on that. No deals have been made. So as of right now, It is what it is. Because right now we got an embargo. And if you don't know what an embargo is, it's simply saying, hey, due to political reasons, yo, we can't sell nothing over here. You can't sell nothing over here. Essentially, America and China got an embargo on each other. Trump saying, hey, y'all can't sell nothing over there. And China saying, hey, don't send nothing over there. That's kind of killing the game right now. We don't really want to be a part of that. So we want here to talk about trade. And last but not least, we want to talk about inflation. All of these things are being affected by what's going on, because if things can't go on, inflation keeps rising, Fed gonna be like, hey, we can't do nothing with all that, dog. Like, hey, so we need to hear that talk, right? And I wrote this down, right? Watch this. Semiconductor soar opportunity. Why? Because China is a massive consumer and competitor when it comes to chips. But because we can't sell, because Trump saying, hey, you can't sell no chips over there. And they saying, guess what? We're gonna try to make our own, right? That puts all of our, now we know China got some technology, but they need the NVIDIA chips. So that was a strong move. Like, hey, you can't make no chips over there. Right? So another thing China does have a problem with, they take intellectual property from America and they are the #1 country with taking your thing, figuring it out, and then creating their own version of it, and then coming back over here to compete with it. They good at that, so I know they're gonna have some deals that talk about that. But also, you're gonna see stuff like NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, TSMC. You're gonna see these companies really pump like they did this week, right? You're gonna see them really pump if this goes through. Next, we're gonna talk about supply chains. They get stronger. So listen, as of right now, 60% of all supply chains that come from China are not taking place. So that means we got boats shipping containers in that's called OC, ocean containers, in California, Seattle, DC, Florida. They coming empty. Ain't nothing on it coming from China, y'all. The ports is empty right now. So, and what the stores are saying is, hey, listen, we could possibly not have nothing on the shelves in the next 8 weeks. That's how dependent we are. Companies like Hasbro, they're like, yo, 95% of our stuff come from China, right? Now, watch this. 95% of key ingredients in all drugs in America come from China. 87% of all key ingredients in antibiotics come from China. So that's leverage right there, right? So we want to see those supply chains really moving around. We want to see that so we can get a deal. We can then talk about that supply chain, which is going to be really good, which now helps companies like Walmart, UPS, Target, again, and then if we can get that in, we know we can get more stuff in. Now, again, we consumers, so you want to be able to sell your stuff here. And I'll be real with you, just India and Vietnam just don't have the capacity to do what China does, y'all. They just don't. Even though they just don't have the capacity. And that's gonna really, really, really hurt a lot of companies. And lastly, but not least, what we'll see when something like this happens is now it makes it easier for the Fed to cut rates, because now it's saying, hey, there's more stability. Now, we had a strong jobs report that came out Friday, which was really, really good for what we had going on. Got a strong jobs report. That also helped the market rally. Now, if people are working, we can get some talk going on. Fed got a meeting next week. We're already saying we got a 90% chance to cut in June. We just need you to come out and say, hey, come on now, y'all, we know what we're doing. So some of the things I'm looking for is I want to see if China is going to make it more competitive. Now, I know that's one of the things that America really want to go for. Is like, hey, we need to be more competitive, because we got companies like Apple, they getting washed over there by Huawei. Tesla getting washed over there by BYD. So they getting washed over there. And so we making it really easy for them to compete over here, but it's not as easy. And I will say this, man, I'm not gonna lie, we gotta start getting some stuff out of China. I'm not gonna lie. Apple, you got it. Now, Apple has committed to putting more supplies in India. It's just impossible for them to probably make it over here in America. And you have a couple of companies that's really saying, yo, we gonna go all in on making this thing work. And so NVIDIA, $500 million, Apple, $500 million. You know, you can't, no, $500 billion, I'm sorry. NVIDIA, $500 billion, Apple, $500 billion committed to doing work in America. And so you can't truly say that that's wrong. And so last but not least, man, this can actually be good. Now, if you're an investor, I'm gonna give you a cheat code. If you're an investor, you hit this, you ask and say, hey, let me buy some Alibaba. Let me buy some KWEB, which is the Chinese ETF. If you're smart, you say, hey, let me AAA. You can make a play like that too, though. So if you found this video informative, let me know. This is what we looking for this week, man. We want to hear this. We want to hear this going over into this week. We're going to see what they're talking about these China. We want a deal on the table. Now, you know, Howard Luskin came out this week and also said he has a deal with one company. He waiting on a prime minister. That's good. We need to see some deals this week. We need to see India. We need to see Japan. We need to see Tokyo. We need to see somebody with a deal. Let's make a deal. You got a deal. You got a deal. You got a deal. We need to see some deals, y'all. So listen, man, it's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just giving you some things to look forward to going into this week, man. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more content, just talking about economics and what's going on, not so much stock related, but you also got to understand what's going on in the economy so you can be a better trader, man. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video. But last but not least, make sure you comment and tell us how we can help you. Salute.